According to records, students make up the highest percentage of registered voters in elections. Now, we're joining me to discuss how voter apathy, election violence, and other factors can hinder credible elections is a student activist, Comrade Abdulkareem Ati. Good to have you join us, Comrade Abdulkareem. When you look at the last election, we just concluded election in Edo State, students made up the largest voting population. We had in about 16 to 18, in about 16 out of the 18 local governments. So how would you assess the participation of students in that election?
All right, thank you very much. All right, for purpose of clarification, it is very important and pertinent to analyze the general election of Nigeria in 2019 and to point that back to the Edo election, how students participating in the election. My contention still remains that students have been disenfranchised in participating in the election, generally. So looking at it, it is established that in Nigeria we have about 207 million persons in this country, in which the registered voters as of 2019, we have about 84 million persons. So having had 84 million persons registered to vote, only few percentage of them are students that were able to vote. So it is something that we perceive to be so uncalled for on the part of the Nigerian students.
What do you think are the factors responsible for that?
Exactly, very clear. Looking at it, during the time of election, before election time, through the executive gazette of the government, to be published that persons can go to vote to register their for the PVCs. Students will be on campus to register for their PVCs. But then when election proper comes, all schools will be shut down. And it is clearly stated in the electoral law that where you register is where you vote. So definitely during the election proper, all campuses will be closed, the students will be sent back home. A place where it is totally different from where they collected their PVCs. So meaning they can't be able to exercise their franchise. It is very logical and direct. So, but then, looking at it from the Edo State election, we have about 5 million persons in Edo State and about 2.2 million registered voters. About 1.7 were able to get their PVCs. The remaining persons were unable to get their PVCs. Evidently, it is generally known that youth dominate the population of every state. And among the youths, the students dominate the population of the youth. So if we can say that the general election, the election that was conducted in Edo State, that the students has a major role in participating in that election, we draw a conclusion to say that that election, most of the students were not on ground to even exercise their franchise.
Exactly, because sometimes some of those students also live in other states.
Exactly.
And might not be able to vote in Edo State. But how do you think that this issue can be fixed? Where should we start from? Okay,
that's very clear. I think, in my own opinion, the first thing that the government should look into is to make sure that the voters card of students should be removed, whereby they can be able to make use of it anywhere in Nigeria. So that my contention still remains, if we are able to make the voters card of Nigerian students to be removed, it will be an opportunity for them to vote anywhere. Either they've registered on campus during the period of registration, whenever they go back home, when the campuses will be shut, they can be able to exercise their franchise at home too.
Will that also lead to a situation where, which is what INEC is trying to avoid, where one student can vote in multiple places and then you have overvoting in that situation?
No, there's nothing like that. There's another recommendation, but I'm very sure there's something like that will not come up. But a situation whereby there is an opportunity to have polling units on campuses. If polling units are on campuses, definitely there will not be like a shutting down of campuses during the time of election. The election will be conducted on there will be polling units on campus where students can exercise their franchise, where they registered, and they can also vote. So meaning during the time of election, they will not nothing like sending students back to their respective homes. So logically to say that if we have polling units in each campuses, it can be properly coordinated. It's just very simple, where the INEC will have a cordial relationship with the school management, coming on board to make, in case of security, making use of the security personnel of campuses, to be able to achieve this goal so that there will not be any election violence on campus.
I'm afraid we do have to leave it there, but we'll see how INEC takes some of your recommendations into consideration. Student activist, Comrade Abdul Karim Asi,
thank you very much.
Talking to us.
Yeah, thank you very much.